out there, and at this point there is no consensus, so they're all right. But so let's break this down. Let's go back to the idea of learning objects being the basic building blocks of a lesson or activity. And like I said, they should be the smallest usable granularity. Yes.
I'm just worried about, should we still be seeing what is a learning object? The first slide.
No, actually, I'm moved forward.
Yeah, because just someone just brought it to my attention there in the thing. We're seeing pause on your thing.
Okay. Maybe I can just share my screen altogether.
Yeah, maybe that'll work better.
Okay, sorry. Yes, actually, we were quite a ways in. Okay, let me share my desktop here. Okay, can you now see?
We can see Whisk online now.
Okay, let me bring this over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now it's clicking through. Yeah, no, that's great.
Sorry, everybody. And unfortunately, I will not see if there's chatting at this point. So, Neil, if you could help me out in case somebody...
Yeah, I can flick back and forth, so I'll let you know if there's any questions.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, everybody. Hopefully that all so far has made sense. Now, Neil also has provided for you a downloadable version of this in a PowerPoint form. So in case you've missed any of this, you're welcome to download that as well. And so, okay, moving forward a little bit here. This is what you should have been seeing. So what I'm doing here is breaking down basically what a learning object is. And so my best way to describe that is maybe an example of this book. And so let's say that you have a book or a course here that is basically on jet transition, then it's for pilot training. And in each book or course, you would basically break it down into units, and each course would have several units. In this one, the first unit is why is flying jets is different and exciting. And within each unit, of course, you will always have lessons as well. And within this unit, we have our first lesson, which is the thrill of flying jets. And in each lesson, then, you would also then have different learning activities. Within this one, you have the understanding the different learning sensations involved in jet flying. And it's from there that you would end up creating your learning object or viewing a learning object. So as you're looking for them out on the web, try to picture it in this way. A good learning object will break it down by not only the course and the unit and the lesson, but a learning activity within that, and is the smallest piece possible. And if even then, if you have a learning activity that you want to teach, if that can be broken down even further, then it should be done so. That is what creates a good learning object. And typically what you're going to find out there is learning objects can come in a wide variety of styles. It could be Word documents or even text files. But what you're finding more and more so is that they can incorporate a lot of different tools, video, audio, different animations, basically showing people instead of just telling them, and also incorporating interactivity so that the learner can also be a part of the learning experience and keeping them active. Now, when I've also talked about having them as a small web-based module, that comes down to a lot of questions about a matter of time. How long does it take for a learning object typically? And that's, again, a very difficult question to answer in that, as you all know, learners learn at different speeds and rates. And so that can be difficult to answer in just that point of view. But typically, if you take yourself out of the picture as the instructor or the teacher of this information and try to be a student, you typically want to have a learning object be anywhere between about 2 to 15 minutes, just so you're not losing your learners and also keeping them actively involved. And the fact that a learning object should be that modular. It should be such a small piece of information that you want to get across, that it should only take that amount of time. So let's get into the idea of finding learning objects out there on the web. And there are a lot of resources out there. In fact, if you did a very simple Google search for learning objects, you're going to find a wide source of information. And I actually think they're all wonderful. This is a small list of what I've found out there as far as what we use and look at ourselves. But by all means, this does not extinguish the list of what is possibly out there. And so, but these are some sources out there that I think are nice for you to immediately go to. The immediate one here called Flink Learning, and I put this one in here not, well, I brought it in at the K through 5, and I wasn't sure exactly, at what level everybody was teaching at, but for those of you who are either, teaching at the elementary level or maybe even for your own children at home, this is a wonderful site to use. Oh, and that's going to not let me to bring that in. What I can do is actually bring in the flinklearning.com on another website here. Let me do this. And this is the flinklearning.com, and they use this community of people called Flinksters. And what they are as a little avatars, and go through a lot of ways of learning. And already the curriculum is on this site. This is meant for a subscription. This is not a free site. You can definitely download a free trial and use that. But the benefit, I think, of this site here is that the curriculum has been developed and by educators out there right now. And so for those of you who are doing any kind of, oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. For those of you who are looking for something for the K through 5 level, I think this is a wonderful site for you to be able to use. So please keep that in mind. The next one here, which is another wonderful resource, especially for educators who want to share material, and then for those of you who also want to find material as well, Merlot does a wonderful job with that. And let me just take you to that site real quick. Oh, actually, that is not the one I want to show you. That'll work. Sorry. All right. This is Merlot, and you can see down here that they have a great deal, many of resources as far as what you can learn and share. Now, you're going to find also as you're searching here on the web for different resources that you are most likely going to need to create some kind of account with them. And that's not necessarily to sell you anything. It's more or less so that they can traffic who's going through and using resources and for you to update information. It can be just a security issue for them. And so I do suggest doing this, is creating your own login. What that does is allows you a little bit more access to documentation as well. And so